This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Thursday, May 30th, 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. Challenges have led to long lines at Barbados Revenue Authority BRA as the extended tax deadline approaches. BRA authorities say the difficulties are as a result of late submissions of taxpayer identification numbers to employers and third-party providers, as well as the late upload of employee information. Spokesperson Erica Lazier tells Barbados Today that over the last few days, the authority has seen a steady stream of people coming in for assistance and reporting that their information is not in the system.
So we've had individuals, many individuals and companies, as I said, who waited until the last minute to file their return. So obviously, if I registered, I'm an individual and I registered in February, I needed to give my new tax number to my employer. But what we've realized is that some employees or some persons did not give the tax numbers to their employers or their trade union or the charity that they support and so on. And obviously, if the employers did not get that new tax number, then that information would be missing when the employer uploads the file. So it's on both sides. There's some employees, some individuals who've been tardy in making sure that they register early and give the information to the entities for whom they needed to give it to. And then we also had some employers who were tardy in filing the necessary income information on behalf of their employees and clients. So it's a bit of both on both sides.
However, Manager of Communications and Public Relations Carolyn Williams-Gale disclosed in a release issued today that the authority will implement measures to ensure that employees are not negatively impacted by the inability to file by the May 31st deadline. Two of the island's polyclinics gets set to begin a round-the-clock service from this Saturday. The David Thompson Health and Social Services Complex, located at Glibland, St. John, and the Winston Scott Polyclinic at Gemmett's Lane, St. Michael, will open their doors on a 24-hour basis from June 1st. Medical officer at the David Thompson Complex, Dr. Omar Edwards, says the service is designed to deliver urgent care, which is a key aspect of healthcare that has been missing from the public health service.
That category of care would be urgent care. Urgent care lies in a spectrum between what we consider to be emergency care and what we consider to be routine, preventative medical care. Urgent care, by definition, would be medical care seeking to address complaints that, while not an emergency, meaning while they are not life-threatening, limb-threatening, or threatening to a person's vision, however, require prompt medical attention for a good outcome, ideally within a period of a few hours.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Kenneth George assures the public that the staff has been adequately prepared to handle urgent care cases.
The Ministry of Health, in the interest of the public, made sure that all the medical staff and nursing staff for the polyclinics were introduced. In addition to their basic training, they did an 8-week intensive course, which they had to pass exams, by the way, of working in an emergency setting, because we don't want to operate that if somebody came to the polyclinic and we weren't able to handle it, that we should be able to start some form of care at that place. So all the officers have been trained and they have been certified, because that was important to us. As we move forward, we are making sure that not only there's training, but we are also working towards having better diagnostic services at these clinics.
The Chief Medical Officer says security is also in place on a 24-hour basis.
We look forward to this type of service. As with any service, it's a new service, and let me tell the public that, to me, the main challenges of developing this new service were two. One, to make sure that the security at those two clinics are tight in terms of having a good security presence, and we have scaled up. We've done a lot of infrastructure work, and there will be 24-hour security guard services at clinics.
Two Barbadians and a Vincentian have been remanded to HMP Dodds on drug charges. They are 38-year-old Iroy Mactuba Hendrickson of St. Vincent, 49-year-old Hamilton MacDonald Branch of Sherburne No. 3, St. John, and 46-year-old Edward Da Costa Gollop of School Road, Halls Road, St. Michael. The trio appeared before Chief Magistrate Christopher Birch this morning on charges of possession, trafficking, possession with intent to supply, and importation of cannabis. Police say the Barbados Coast Guard intercepted the men on board a fishing vessel off Concert Bay, St. John around 10:36 a.m. on Monday. The cannabis weighed 268 pounds and had an estimated street value of $487,600. The accused weren't required to plead to the indictable charges and will reappear before the District C Magistrates Court on June 27th. Work is continuing at White Hill, St. Andrew on the construction of a new road. The main road into the rural community was condemned for the past few years after it was severely damaged following heavy rains. Today, resident Carlita Andrews told Barbados Today there have been substantial improvements.
Work going on, as you can see, it might look like it's taking long, but as we all know, what situation, financial situation the country is in. But however, the MP for the area, the ministers, the transport and works visit the areas frequently. As recent as 3 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, they were up here doing a walkthrough and to assess the situations. So we are being patient because we are seeing a lot more improvement.
Sports now. Barbadian fast bowling sensation Jofra Archer made a Dream World Cup debut, snatching 3 wickets to help propel England to a dominant 104-run victory over South Africa in their tournament opener at London's historic Oval today. In only his 4th one-day international, the 24-year-old finished with 3 for 27 from 7 overs as the hosts successfully defended their 311 for 8. Fellow pacers Ben Stokes and Liam Plunkett also made telling strikes, selling South Africa tumbling to 207 all-out in the 40th over.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Regional news now. The Bahamian government provides relief on a number of household and educational items. Cleopatra Murphy of ZNS News tells us more about the duty reductions outlined in the budget.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Peter Turnquest, announced $28 million in duty reductions during his budget communication in the House of Assembly this morning. Items of note include household refrigerators and household stoves.
We have proposed a number of tax relief measures to provide some reprieve to all citizens and to encourage economic activity by making the import of certain items relatively cheaper, thereby making it comparatively easier for persons to enter existing markets and, in some cases, create new ones.
Musical instruments will become duty-free, along with home refrigerators of 18 cubic feet or smaller, home stoves that are 30 inches wide or smaller. Other reductions include garbage can liners from 45% to 25%, school supplies like pens, pencils, and sharpeners that will be duty-free, while household furniture will be reduced from 45% to 25%. The Minister of Finance also announced that the temporary provision of no VAT for customers with light bills under $300 initially expected to expire at the end of June will be made permanent.
And finally, international media is reporting that Grammy-winning singer R. Kelly was charged today with 11 new felony counts of sexual assault and abuse. According to reports, Kelly has been indicted on 4 counts of aggravated criminal sexual assault, 2 counts of criminal sexual assault by force, and 2 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse, and 3 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse against a victim between the ages of 13 to 16. If convicted, the R&B singer could be sent to prison for 30 years. Earlier this year, the artist was charged with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. He pleaded not guilty and was released on bail. That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Enjoy the rest of your evening.